Something that is so crucial, that is so vital. You can't see it in the air, which is why we fill a chamber full of smoke to give you that visual, to show you that with the LivePure Bali, it is a powerhouse that helps to move the air, circulate the air, and clean the air with a real, true HEPA filter. We've talked a lot today about this. I was devastated to learn that they've cut our presentation time down to only around 20 minutes or so because we have so few remaining. First ever product I bought at HSN 18 years ago was an air purifier. You know, for a lot of us, it starts with the basics. It smells. The kitchen smells, the cooking smells, the dog smells. No more buying air fresheners or plug-ins or oils or candles. Clean, fresh air, and air purifier gets rid of them. But then you talk about these other things, pollen and allergies, because you know you get the itchy eyes or the sniffly nose. It's not a cure, but if somebody in your family struggles with allergies, obviously it's better to clean the air than not to clean the air. The EPA says the air inside our homes is up to 5 times more polluted than the air outside of our homes. We can't see it, so we pretend it's not there, but it is there. We want to use that next level, next grade technology to make sure your home is a healthier place. So why this one? Well, all day long, we've been showing the most powerful, best-in-class air purifier that we do. This is one that's meant to fill a whole space. If you live in an open floor plan, this is all you need. One upstairs maybe and downstairs. A lot of us have air purifiers that are this big, and we have one in the kitchen, and one in the living room, and one in the bedroom, and one in the kids' room, and one in the guest room. And we heard you. You said, I don't want that. I want one and done. This is an expensive unit because it's a best-in-class unit. It's a $400 air purifier. It even has smart sense technology that can detect if the air inside your home is struggling, and it will kick into overdrive to make sure it cleans it. No other air purifier has that. This is also the one with that forever filter, so you'll never spend another $1 on a filter. Absolutely free forever, never spend another dime. Let me take you through the colors and then we'll dig in with all the things that this has and this can do. You know how I feel about this, and I'm really, you know, I'm passionate about it, yes, enthusiastic, clearly, but this is something that is the most important buy of the entire night, bar none. I have it in sage green. There are, oh my goodness me, there's 25 remaining in sage green. So do a quick tour of colors. Sage green, I have 25. This is denim blue. It is last call. Again, under 100 in denim blue. Taupe all the way. That brand new taupe at the end right there is down to the final 175 in the taupe. On the top deck, we have our white, very popular, graphite gray, and always popular selection. Last call there, about 300 left. And of course, our classic black at the end. There's a lot to discuss because this is different. Vonabelle Sherman, our home health and wellness expert, has been sharing her stories and her wisdom on this all day long. Vonabelle, we've arrived at the finish line.
We have.
It's our final look, and there's no other Today special this year.
Nope, this is it. So the best value is right here. And as Adam said, so number one is the Forever Filter, never spending another nickel on filters. That's so important because maybe what held you back from getting one is the ongoing cost, not the cost of the unit, but that you have to get that new filter, and it's $50, $60, $70 every few months. This is a dirty filter. This is a clean filter. You're seeing a remarkable difference there. But don't be upset when this gets dirty because it's better that it's here rather than your nose and your lungs. But while I'm here, let me show you some cool things about this. So it has 2 layers of filtration. First is your cocoa carbon of the good, better, best. It is the best. And then underneath is your true HEPA. Please don't settle for HEPA-ish, sort of HEPA, you know, they'll use little code words. It has to be true HEPA. So that's when we can say we're gonna capture 99.97% of all the particles in the air down to 0.3 microns. HEPA like this is what's in hospitals. It's what's in airplanes. Then another thing that you absolutely want in your air purifier is a sealed gasket. That means it has to be rubberized or a heavy foam, not that paper. If it's not, then the dirty air just bypasses and come out, and it's ineffective. So look at the big space. I want to take this over to this unit because I want to show you how big this is. Some manufacturers cheat, and you may open the unit, and the unit is only half that size. At LivePure, look at how big this is. And as big as this is, It is a lifetime filter. You're gonna vacuum this clean and never pay another nickel. The life of the unit is how long this lasts, and they say it's about 12 years. Not because it goes bad or anything goes wrong, but in 12 years there'll be new technology. Now, we don't have a lot of time today, so I wanna get to showing you what it means when I say it is a lifetime filter. So here you're seeing the True HEPA, the cocoa carbon of the good, better, best. It is the best. It's a renewable resource as well. It's actually coconut carbon made from coconut. So you're having that, and you're having your True HEPA filter. And by the way, this cover comes off. It's magnetic. I thought that was so cool because it's so easy. And then when you're putting it back on, it just kind of seamlessly goes on. Now, when it's time to vacuum this, and what's important, there is a little light and it glows, but it's, hey, have you vacuumed me? Not, oh, go look for another filter and expect to pay $70, $80. Now, I have this little Bissell handheld. If you happen to have one, that's great. But you could also use an upholstery tool. Take a look at this. So you're going to vacuum it clean. Now, if you have pets, I want you to do it probably once a month. If you don't, then you could do every 2 or 3 months. If you don't have a little vacuum like that, very often I'll just use my upholstery tool, looks like this. Yep. Okay, and you can vacuum this clean, but also vacuum your True HEPA. And it's that simple. It's really intuitive and easy. We didn't make anything difficult. We also gave you a remote. So if you're sitting in your comfy chair and you're like, you know, I want to turn that on turbo, the kids just burnt toast, you can do that. Now, also because we don't have a lot of time, I want to get over here and show you this sensor that they put on.
This is important, yep.
So we added this last year and our customers have loved it, all positive feedback. It's intuitive in that it knows if, say, the kids open the front door, they're coming in with groceries and it's pollen season and all that just came in. This will change color from green. This green means it's a normal amount of particles in the air. We're cleaning it, it's no problem. Now, I actually have a can that will introduce VOCs and I will put that in this side. And by the way, this is the intake. And you can put this back against the wall. A lot of units you can't. You have to get it off the wall, but it is nice just to be able to back that up. Now it's green, okay? Keep an eye on that. I'm gonna introduce a VOC here. And it's taking it in, immediately it goes to red. So let's say you did burn that toast in the kitchen, you open the door and the pollen, and we are in tree and pollen season. Yep. Now what it's doing is it's going through the 2 layers of filtration. You always want 2 layers. Through the cocoa carbon, through the True HEPA, and it keeps circulating until it is clean. Now, something you can't hear, but I feel and heard, when this turned red, the motor kicked up and automatically went faster so it could process that. So here is the settings you will see. So green is your normal, we know it's a normal amount of particles in the air. Then you go to blue and you're like, oh wait, it's getting bigger. And then you go to the orange, it's like a little high alert. And then red means, hey, we really have a lot. We're gonna kick up the motor and see, now you can see it went back to green. That's the process and it's automatic. It's just a nice comfort to know, oh, look at that protecting me, and knowing that somebody burnt the toast, for instance, or somebody opened the door and let in that, you know, pollen. And we are in the allergy season where a lot of people suffer. And if that's you, you need an air purifier. And very often it's the doctor who says, you need an air purifier. And then you're excited, but then you go home and you're like, oh wait, I'm glad I have a solution, but what am I looking for? That's what I want to help you with. So you must have the 2 layers of filtration. You must have a sealed gasket. And then having the sensor is a great attribute. Now, LivePure, we give you USA-based customer service, which people love. So if you have a problem or a question even, and you call that number, we're gonna answer that call right here in America, answered by American. Also, this is Energy Star rating. So you get it home and you're like, I love this, but I don't wanna leave it plugged in all the time, my electric bill. No, no, no. It's Energy Star rating. So go ahead and leave it on 24/7, capturing 99.97 of all the particles in the air. Now here's the other fabulous thing about this unit. We call this the Mac Daddy. Very often if you want an air purifier just for a little room, you might get a small one. But then let's say, oh, I want to move this out to this bigger room. It won't work in the bigger room because it's not strong enough to circulate the air. This unit, you can put in a small room, a medium room, a big room, and up to 2,000 square feet. So for many of us, that's the open floor plan. I have that. My kitchen's open to my living room, it's open to my dining room. Now, as we think about the spaces, look at this graph. See if one of those goes, oh yeah, I have a room like that. And I want to read off just a couple of stats for you, which will help you understand how much space this can do.
Right.
But normally when I'm doing a small air purifier, you might be waiting for me to say, oh, how many square feet does that do? And I might say 100 square feet, 150. It doesn't matter. You don't have to think about this. It will do the small room, the medium room, the big room, and up to 2,000 square feet. So a 10 by 12 room, which by the way is the most common room size in most houses in America, 22 times an hour. And let's jump to 25 by 30, 4 times an hour. And then let's take it up to the full 2,000 square feet capacity. It's going to do it 33 times every single day while you're not even thinking about it. Scrubbing the air clean, removing all of the particles out of it so you breathe better, so you feel better. This is really important to have in your home, especially if somebody has allergies, or maybe grandpa lives with you and he smokes, or you get one of my kids loves to smoke cigars. I don't understand it. They stink, but if maybe your husband likes to do that, it's his celebration, you're like, but I want that out of my house. Yeah. This is the way to do it. It also has a low, medium, high, but turbo. That is your answer to the cigar smoking or the cigarettes. Because when you turn it on turbo, now I will say it's a little louder when you do that, but you want it because you want that motor to get those smells out of the air. Right, Adam?
So there's a lot of, there's a lot of information here, and it's all important because it's setting this apart from the others. Can I just throw a few things at you folks at home? Just because we only have 12 minutes left, and this is the last today's special we're doing all year on an air purifier. So I really want to make sure you know everything so you can make a good decision. It doesn't matter if you buy this one tonight from us, but it's important that I tell you, if you ever go to buy an air purifier, like millions of people do every day from the red store, the blue store, the drugstore, you got to look on that box and you got to make sure it says real HEPA, true HEPA, because every day people are being bamboozled into buying purifiers that are not real HEPA. It's not right, it's not good, and they're spending hundreds of dollars on it. The reality is, this is a $400 air purifier. This isn't some entry-level basic. This is $400. We cut the price in half, well, for the next 45 minutes. So we're down to $199 and free shipping and handling. Vonabelle just said, it smells, it's odors, it's cooking smells, it's the tobacco smells. You then go to that next level, which we all have to think about. In our environment, there are mold and mold spores in millions of homes across America. It's not good. My son had to go through a whole thing about mold in his body. It was terrible. We didn't realize there was mold in the house. Do you know that you have mold in the house? Now, this isn't a cure, obviously, but if you've got an air purifier, it's cleaning the air. COVID showed us that there's stuff in the air. There can be stuff in the air. Cold and flu season, we know there's stuff in the air. So what are we doing to purify? Again, not a cure, or a medical device, but it only makes sense that you're helping to clean the air to nurture a healthier home. Just because we can't see it, it doesn't mean it's not there, because it is there. Dust, dander, allergens and pollen, mold spores, dust mite feces, things that are in the air that you're making your body do the work on. If you take that $199 today, I can get you a $400 system. I'd rather you had this. I'd rather you had this. Most air purifiers on HSN cost between $90 and $139, but they're the small ones, you know, the ones that sit by the bedside, the ones that sit on the kitchen counter. This is that one big one that's going to cover a bigger area and a bigger space. So there's a lot of value there. And just like Vonabelle said, you never need to spend any money. I am not going to offer you an auto ship for a filter that needs to be replaced every 3 months at $50. There is no auto ship. It is a forever filter that you never have to spend $1 on. It's the first air purifier that is smart. And when I say smart, I don't mean like Wi-Fi and an app. I mean, it knows when the air quality in your home has deteriorated. That's what that light was at the front. It senses if the air quality's gone down, and it'll kick into action. So, all of those reasons, right? All of them. You've got to have an air purifier. Beyond the presentation, beyond the hype, beyond the price, beyond the excitement, you really got to have an air purifier. Promise me you'll look into getting one at some time real soon, because the sooner you get it, the sooner you're going to feel much better every day and every morning and every night time. If you're looking to order this one, the things I can say are, it's the last presentation. It's the only offer of the year. I know it's only March 10th. There is no other today's special for an air purifier. Everything else you see will be more money. This is a better value. If you want sage, I have 10 left. If you want denim blue, I'm under 50 left. We've sold nearly 4,000. I have 50 left before sellout. The taupe, I want to show you the taupe. America wants the taupe. I have 90 remain. If you want taupe, there are 90 left before we will be removing that from the set. This is the classic black, popular for sure. I'm okay at the moment. Charcoal gray. Charcoal gray, a fantastic color choice, obviously. Final call on the charcoal gray. And then we have that spectacular white as well. Whichever you choose, you'll love. The team are letting me know there's 9 minutes left. Vonabelle, again, it's a lot of information.
Yeah.
Not all air purifiers are the same.
Yeah, and you don't know. If you don't know, you don't know, right? And this is an act of love for your family. Listen, we all do laundry, we all, clean the dishes, we get clean water. You need to clean the air as well. I want to turn on this smoke chamber again, because I want to tell you a different story. As this goes on, please, if you're not paying attention, I need you to pay attention, because it works quickly, because this is our big Mac Daddy. This is not the one that can only do a small room or only do a medium. This can do small, medium, large, and up to 2,000 square feet. As you can see, the smoke twirled, it went through 2 layers of filtration. That's where it went. It went into the cocoa carbon, it went into the True HEPA, and it's in the system now so that you don't have to breathe it. So it's not in your nose and it's not in your lungs. Now, when I say this, by the way, this has a 6-year warranty on the motor, because that's the important part. It needs to be able to clean the air. To clean the air, you have to move the air. You have to move the air to be able to clean the air, and that's what LivePure has totally mastered. When I say that this Big Mac Daddy does up to 2,000 square feet, so I need to get the air in that corner, and that corner, and that corner, and that corner, right? That's why you have to have a good motor, so it moves the air. Being able to show you this with the hardest particle to take out of the air, which is smoke, makes you have a great visual to understand. Now let me show you, when we say this removes 99.97% of all the particles in the air, the ones that are irritating you, the ones that you can't see, because many times my friends have said, I feel so crummy, my eyes are itchy, and my throat is scratchy, and I need a drink of water, but I don't see anything. Like, you're looking in the air, and you're like, what's bothering me? It's invisible threats. Let's pretend this one big ball is one single strand of hair, okay? Because that's what we're representing. What does 0.3 look like next to one single strand of hair? You see this bead?
Yeah.
That's 0.3, okay, next to a single strand of hair. And that's why you're having trouble seeing it. That's why you're irritated and you're not seeing it in the air. Look at this graph. This will help you understand. So 80 to 100 microns is that one single strand of hair. Then going down from that, you have pollen, you have dust, you have pet dander, and smoke, which is the hardest particle. And a lot of times you smell it before you actually see smoke, right? So these are the things that need to come out of air. And the EPA says inside our house is more toxic than outside, even though that's where the tree and grass and all those outdoor allergens come in. Now, last year, you might have really suffered during allergy season, and you went, I'm not doing this again. Next year, I am getting an air purifier. I hope I've helped you make a decision, because LivePure has put in everything that you need. True HEPA, 2 filtrations, cocoa carbon is included. You have a sealed gasket guaranteeing that all of that air goes through and does get filtered. And then you have the sensor, so you know if something else gets picked up. You have great colors, and you have the great warranty from LivePure. You have the USA-based customer service. And here's a nice side effect of having an air purifier that I love, because I always giggle, because usually when it has something as a side effect, they say it really low, really fast. No, this one's loud and proud. Here is a side effect, less dust that you're going to have to dust, because the dust actually will end up in the air purifier, and so there's less on your furniture. And I like that as a side effect. Who wants to do more work, So again, the big difference with this, I think, is we're talking about a unit that will do small, medium, large, up to 2,000 square feet, okay? Now, there's an outside agency called AHAM. AHAM regulates all air purifiers, not just LivePure. And they say, our foundation is how many square feet can you do if we do 4.8 air exchanges.
Okay.
For this unit, it's 550 feet. But all we do, or square feet, all we do is, if you put it in the smaller room, you do it more, 22 times if you put it in the standard room in America, which is about 10 by 12. Imagine scrubbing your air clean 22 times. Then we can take it up to 2,000 square feet, where we're going to clean that air 33 times a day. So every hour we're exchanging. And then in between, maybe it's doing 4 air exchanges in an hour. Now, if you put it in a bedroom, I want to tell you, close that door.
Yes.
Why? Because this is such a powerful motor that it will pull the air out in the hallway, but you really are working on that smaller medium bedroom, so close the door, and in an hour it's not even the same air. So if you're suffering with allergies, or that's the room somebody was smoking in, please close the door, let it cycle through, and in an hour it's not even the same air. You won't smell those smells. And many people, when they get smells, they grab a candle, they grab a spray. Okay, these are called VOCs, volatile organic compounds. You are not supposed to spray these. That's what an air purifier takes out of the air. Also, these are covering, not removing. The best smell is no smell. That's what you get from an air purifier. You just get clean, fresh air at them.
Vonabelle, will you show everybody the glass of water for me, please?
Yes.
Because this is, I think...
it's a nice visual,
It's
right?
a great visual, because you don't see stuff in the air, so it's like out of sight, out of mind. Do I need this? I don't need this. But look, this will show you everything.
Yeah, so if you go to a restaurant and they give you a glass of water, you go, oh, thank you very much, that's great, I would drink that. But if they gave you a glass of water and it looked like this, with all those particles in it, you'd be like, I'm sorry, you made a mistake. I don't think this is not clean, take it back.
No.
Well, why don't we have the same standard for our air? These particles that are in here, it's the same thing that's like in the air. So raise your standard to the same as most of us have filtered water, right? We wouldn't drink this. We want the air to be particle free as well. And so you will get that with this unit, with the benefit of no money pit. You're gonna vacuum the filters clean and never spend another nickel. For a lot of people, that's what held you back from getting an air purifier. You were like, I can afford the unit, but that ongoing cost every 3 or 4 months, and one like this could be $60, $70.
Sure.
You never have to buy a filter, you just vacuum it clean at them.
That is that is the key, right? Is that you never have to spend any more money, and that's valuable. Look, I'll sum it up by saying the word I should never say. The word that really is forbidden on air, because it's not a fair word to use, but I'm gonna use it here. It's the best. It's the best. Every product has its features and benefits, but in the world of air purifiers, this is the best. Why is it the best? Because it's that full room, that potentially whole home solution. If you live on one floor, open floor plan, it is the better technology because it's real HEPA, not simulated HEPA, kind of like HEPA. It's the platinum standard. It has a forever filter we've determined could save you thousands of dollars. Let me be clear. Thousands of dollars is what you could save, potentially, on the lifetime of owning an air purifier because you do not have to buy any filters. This is a smarter air purifier because it has that smart detect function. So it knows what the air quality is like and it will adjust. You know, most air purifiers have a low, medium, high. This knows if it needs to kick up into high gear. There are those of us that will buy it because a family member struggles so deeply with allergies and with the pollen and everything else and the dander. It's hard on our eyes and our nose, our throats. Maybe we buy it for that. Obviously not a cure, but cleaning the air is a good thing. There are those of us that will buy it because it gets rid of the smells, dog smells, cooking smells. And there are those of us that will buy it because the visual of what Vonabelle just showed us makes sense. I know it's there, but I'm not able to single it out. I see the dust on the surface because I cleaned that up. I know there is dander. I know there is mold and mold spores. I know there are things floating in the air that I don't want to have my body do the work. I know that Uncle Doug is coming over tomorrow and he's been struggling with bad cold and flu, but he doesn't want to miss that family reunion. What am I doing to nurture a healthier home? I want to make sure that the air in my house is clean because that means a healthier you and healthier pets and healthier children and healthier grandchildren. If you buy this one, you're not buying a $199 air purifier. You're buying a $400 air purifier. I have a gazillion air purifiers at around $150 or so. But $400 is the highest caliber, the highest echelon of air purification technology that we offer. And for this one day, we took our best in class and we sliced it in half. So instead of 400, it's under 200. But it's ending. Obviously now I've been yabbering on for all this time. There's 3 minutes left. This is the only today's special of the year. You will see air purifiers again, of course, but you won't get a better value than this, and I want you to get the best value. It's important to me. That's why I want to make sure you realize this isn't just another air purifier, it's the air purifier. It's the one that I recommended to my son's teacher. It's the one that I bought originally all those years ago from the original model. Mine doesn't have the Smart Sense technology like yours does. This is the LivePure Bali. It is in a league of its own. And I just don't want anybody to be confused, Vonabelle, between this and the air purifier that they see that's $99. This is a world of difference.
Absolutely. This is more powerful. And also the $99, you're going to be spending $50 on a new filter, and $50 on a new filter, and $50 on no filter. So this also has a remote, which is wonderful. And I wanted to just take a look at the built-in, really sleek features on the top. So you have an accent light, and you can shut that off, by the way. That's that blue light down here. Okay, you could shut that off in case you like a dark room. Many people like a dark room. Then you have your speeds, low, medium, high-end, turbo. Other units do not have turbo. If you need the turbo, you don't mind the little extra noise as the motor goes and really moves the particles in case you burnt something or the pollen came in. Then you have a timer. If you just want to set the timer to be on during the day or the night, you have off on in the middle. You have a sleep mode. It automatically puts it in the most quiet mode. Then in auto, it'll just go at a medium speed, picking up all that. And then this end, okay, this is so important. Where I'm circling, so important. On any other unit, when this lights up, it means, oh, you have to buy a new filter. And you're like, oh, I don't have time to get out a tape measure and figure out what I need. No, no, no. In this unit, that means, hey, have you vacuumed me lately? That's all that means. You take out your vacuum, you vacuum your 2 filters, there's no extra cost. It goes back to its original performance after you vacuum it. So that's a huge savings. When you think about that, it makes the unit worth it right there. Maybe you even have an air purifier right now, and you're like, it's due for a new filter.
Right.
Why should I pay $40, $50, $60 for a new filter when I can invest in this and never have to buy a new filter for the life of the unit? Now, they say the life of the unit's about 12 years. Not because anything goes wrong, but in 12 years we'll probably have new technology. So you're getting your choice of colors, you're getting the sensor, which is key. I really like that, and our customers have really enjoyed that extra feature. And you are getting 2 layers of filtration, a sealed gasket so that everything does go through the filter. And then you get the great warranty from LivePure, USA-based customer service. It's just so well-rounded and perfect.
Sage just sold out, so thank you for your orders on Sage. It is out of here. Okay. If you want denim blue, fewer than 2 dozen left before it's out of here. Taupe, taupe, taupe is the #1 bestseller. There are 30 left in taupe if you want the taupe, and similar on the graphite at the top. Vonabelle Sherman, thank you so much.
It was my pleasure.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
A great day. True.
And congratulations to all of you. It was a good choice.
It's great, you know, information. I mean, really, it's information we got to hear. We need to know these things. All right, we're going to leave that right there. Stay in the ordering process for yours. Don't forget to check out if it's in your shopping cart. On the way next, he's here. Yes.